Hey viewers to play later, how we doing today? Well, a little bit ago we just took a look at the Warhammer 40K Recruit Edition starter box. Today we're going to take a look at, well, the granddaddy of them all for the starter sets, if you're not looking at the Indominus. You know, what they call this one? The Command Edition starter set. This one's going to be a little bit more pricey for you, but it comes with a lot of stuff. Seriously, this is like everything you need other than paints and glue in one little box. Now, let's get you a price on this because I know everybody wants to know pricing, right? And you know, if I was a little bit more prepared, I might have this thing already pulled up. But that would be too easy. Where are you? Where are you? Sorry, I'm not going to hit pause. There we go. Okay, as of Tuesday, August 23rd, 2022, it is $157.25. It is Prime one-day eligible. I'm going to leave you a link right down below for that. It's a lot of money, I know, but you get a lot of things with it. If I've got this count right, you get 27 miniatures, you get a whole bunch of scenery, you get a rule book, and you get a whole bunch of neat stuff with it. But what I'm going to do is we're going to move this over to the tabletop. We're going to open it up. Well, it's already been open, okay? I've been going through, I've been painting it, and I've given some of this away because it was deserved to be given away, but we'll get there in a moment. So let's head over to the tabletop and take a closer look at this guy. Alrighty, guys, sorry about all the weird stuff in the background. Like I said, we're at the end of summer break, and we've got crap on top of crap on top of crap everywhere. But let's get this thing open, and let's start taking a look at all the goodies. I can't show you the Necron Force, because some of you may remember in that Docking Bay 93 video, I gave those away to a very, very deserving person. She made my daughter feel incredible, made her feel like she was family, made her feel like she'd been in the game forever and a day, and I thought that was really, really an appropriate, good thing to do. But I have something else a little bit to show you. Okay. Now, what got me was, get up there. When you get this thing, it is filled to the top with sprues, because everything under the sun comes on a sprue with Games Workshop. Okay, we'll get to what's under here in just a moment. Now, I can't show you the Necron Force, but I can show you parts of the one from the Recruit Edition. They're basically the same exact thing, okay? Those are the Necron Forces. All these things are push-fit miniatures, which means you don't need glue to get them to hold together, but I'm going to highly recommend it. You've got to be good, you've got to be quick, and you've got to be awesome with super glue, because I'll show you why here in a little bit. But that's the Necrons, those are their bases, and there's a huge reason why. You see that little hole right there? That's where part of the thing on their foot goes. That's going to help position it on that base. And you got to be careful, because if you're like me and you like building something on your base, you're limiting yourself with some options with that. Alright, let's get that out of the way. Okay, this is going to look a little weird, but forgive me. Hopefully you can see all of that back there. All of that is the scenery that you get. You've got like 1, 2, 3, about 15, 16 pieces of scenery that come in this box set. You also get 3 Outriders, which are Space Marines on bikes, 5 Assault Intercessors, and 1 Primaris Captain, but he looks an awful lot like a Blade Guard guy. So let's start looking at those. Now, I really wanted this set just for him. So that is the Captain. Now, you get a couple different options for a headpiece. I really wanted him with the helmet, because I thought with part of it, like cocked up, looked a little cocked up, looked dumb. I didn't like the way the head looked on there, so I went for the full face shield. That makes me giggle. That's his relic shield, okay? You're running into battle with a skeleton strapped on your shield. Alright. But I really like this one because it forced me to get out of my comfort zone in painting and try to come up with something different for a Space Wolf Captain. especially one that's done up in this kind of armor. So I pushed myself with brasses and golds and some coppers because I really truly wanted something a little different. I'll be honest with you, I'm liking how the red tabard that I've recently figured out a really, really good paint scheme for goes with the Space Wolves Gray. But there's the captain. Okay, now let me show you the Outriders. And then we're going to get into the other fun stuff. Now, here's another example of issues with push-to-fit miniatures. They give you little holes to get these guys into, and sometimes if you can't sink it in that hole properly and you're using super glue, you have issues. Other times, as you can see here with the really, really bad green stuff over the top, because I really suck at it, this had a massive gap that was split that I could not get this thing closed. For the life of me, I couldn't do it. I sat there working on it for a half an hour on one miniature to get it done properly, and then I just finally gave up. As you can see, a gap sitting right there. Or, as I've shown off before, like right through there, you can see how the peg is not fully onto the shoulder, or how certain areas, like the pipes on this thing, really clicked out. I'm like, are you kidding me? So a Space Marine is now tricking out his chopper? Okay then. Now granted, I kind of wanted this guy to be the sergeant, but just, you know, with the raised chainsword, but with the bald head and everything else, I don't know. It's going to see how I figure it out, and this one even had a problem fitting together over the top. As you can see, some gaps through there. That's my huge problem with push fits. There's always some kind of issue. Now, as I've shown these off before, they're just really basic pose with the guys running and doing things. You got to be careful because there's some parts, like with here, there's a slot in there where that's got to kind of fit in, and I'm like, ugh. Or when you're trying to get the heads in place, when you're pushing things together, it's a real nightmare. But I'm just going to show you that one. Okay, now I did like this. I like that a lot. That's going up on a wall somewhere. I thought that was cool art. You know, whatever way you want to go with it. So I will be saving that. All right, let's move you aside. Now, we'll get to the other stuff, don't worry. You get 2 clear range rulers, which everything you're going to have to measure for, everything you're going to have to double check stuff. I thought it was cool that they've made them clear as opposed to the old little wacky sticks they used to give you back in 2nd edition, where it was like a hard plastic stick where you'd leave welts on everybody when you're gaming and try to knock your brother or sister out. But still, you get 2 of them. Now, you do get gaming dice, okay? They give you free dice. I'm going to warn you up front. These are either going to be some of the best dice you've ever had or the crappiest dice you have ever had. I want you to notice the corners are really rounded, so you're never really sure where it's going to fall and where it's going to roll and all that other fun stuff. Of course, they give you info for stuff they're selling, you know, new Black Library stuff. Now this, I did like. I'm going to be cutting part of this out. They gave you transfer sheets. Instead of just giving you Ultramarines like they always seem to want to do, they gave you Wolves, they gave you Blood Angels, and Dark Angels. So I thought that was great. They gave you other stuff. I can make use of this. So let's move this aside. Like I said, there's a lot in here to unpack, okay? Now this one, the playmats on this one are like of a heavier stock than the Recruit Edition, which seem like little pieces of paper. So here's one set, well, one version. Of course, it's going to be over here. Hold on. And as you can see down there in the box set, there's the other. No, I haven't opened up yet. I haven't really been able to game a lot yet, but still. Now, let's get into the other stuff. Now, just like with the Recruit Edition, you're basically getting the same book. It's the command manual. The only thing that I can tell that's different by looking through it is just right there, the command manual on the top. It's full color. They break down a lot of stuff about getting started in the hobby, which I thought was really, really cool. And they also give you 6 missions, I think it is, to take you from basic, just start playing, to getting up to a little bit more advanced. Now, the one thing that impressed me, and I thought it was really, really cool and almost unheard of Games Workshop to do this. You see, this is what kills me. So that captain looks like he belongs in the Blade Guard, because those are Blade Guard. Do you see the exact similarities between them? But still, I wanted it just for that model. Guy with a skeleton on his shield running into battle, inspiring troops. Okay. At the very end, they give you what they think are good next steps to go through. Things how to build your forces, things to add to your forces. Right up here, they're telling you you can go online at Warhammer 40K.com and download basic rules. But here's the funny part. In this box set, you get an introductory rulebook. I'm going to show you that in a moment. You really need the full one. It's going to provide a lot more backstory. It's going to provide a lot more information. It's going to provide a lot more fun. I'll show you that book too here in a moment. You're also going to need your codexes, which is your Bible for whatever you're going to play. It's going to tell you what you can have, what you can't have, and all that fun stuff. Now here's the data sheets for the stuff that they were suggesting, but I'm going to show you something here in a moment. Let's just get this one out of the way. I want you to notice, here's the size of the introductory rule book they give you. Okay. Here is the core book. See the difference? You get a lot more bang for your buck in here than you do here, but if you just have this, you're going to be okay to play. But I highly suggest getting this. I really, truly do. It's going to give you so much more interesting things in there that you're really, really, truly going to love it. Okay. Now here's the data sheets that they were talking about. They're going to give you the stats breakdown. They're going to give you everything. And when you get your codexes and you even look in other books, this is exactly how a lot of this stuff is going to look. You're going to see a little bit about, you know, like for this one, the Primaris Captain. I'm going to tell you a little bit about what he does, who he is. It's going to give you all the gear, everything else. You know, and they even give you all the way up for the Outrider squads. Just like for the Necrons that come in this one. They give you all the stats and everything that you need. So I thought that was cool. Okay. That's pretty much everything that comes in the box. Like I said, I know it's got a hefty value. Okay, I know. I know that Games Workshop, people have been online ranting and raving about the price points and everything, but I think it's a really, really fair thing. If you break down just the miniatures alone, what you're getting in here, if you be buying them off the rack or off of Amazon, you're going to be paying a lot more just for the miniatures than you are for this box set. But we're at my favorite part of the video. I want to know your questions, comments, love, hatred, anger, all that fun stuff right down below. Have you bought this box set? Do you like this box set? Do you like how Games Workshop, when they come out with their new stuff, how they bring things forward? These are things I'd like to know from you, because like I've said repeatedly, I took a 20-year hiatus, and I'm getting right back into it. I personally love these box sets because you get great miniatures. Sometimes you get limited miniatures because, I won't lie, I've been looking for him forever and a day on Amazon, can't find him. And I'm not really in the mood to go to eBay and get in a bidding war over that when I just buy the box set and get a bunch of stuff to flush out my army. Not to mention all that scenery I showed you. Scenery is always important on a tabletop because, yes, we've all played Warhammer. You know what I'm talking about if you've played it with very limited scenery. Scenery builds a story on the table. But that's something for another video. So, if I made you laugh, made you cringe, made you cry, made you do any of that during this video, please hit that big old thumbs up. It's going to show love and support for the channel, and it is always appreciated. But there we go, guys. My quick tabletop look at the Warhammer 40K Command Edition. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope all of you are having a great day, a safe day, and I'll see all of you in our very next video.